As if this solar eclipse wasn't strange enough, did you guys see this live from Caryville, Texas? Check it. That. You see that? Now I know NASA was talking about sending rockets into the shadow of the eclipse, like, okay, why? But look, you see that? You see the little black thing first and foremost? Now this is what I find really odd about this. You see the darker shape here? That almost looks like it hit the side of this. Like, they say this is just the shadow, but the way that it hit, it almost looked like it hit the side of something. Like, you get a real up close and personal look. Look at it. It looks like there's something here. And boom, it goes off. And then there's that. Okay.
Let's see if they can explain this one. Can't wait for all the scientists to comment. You intelligent human beings, believing everything you're told. Did you see it? I'll slow it down for you. This is a live NASA stream, by the way. Bunch of phonies. I thought they said the moon was a rock. So how is this possible? The screen glitched. Flat Earth, baby. Let's guru.
Wow. Gina, I thought I'd have goosebumps, but I'm like literally shaking. This is crazy.
I know, I agree.
So, I mean, this
And
is
I'm
your
just-
first annular eclipse. I mean, was it what you expected?
It is to hear, I mean, we've seen all of the photos from previous annular eclipses, but just as I look again, I mean, it's incredible how the moon and the sun are able to line up like this. The moon is...
Your whole life you have been taught that the Earth is a spinning ball in space. But in fact, the Earth is flat. Just look at our model. Even though the surface is flat, we can make it appear to be spherical. It's all a matter of perspective. The moon may be just like this flat version of the blue marble. It may have been designed to look spherical when in fact, it's flat, and we have proved that this can be the case. So next time you look at some images made by NASA and other space agencies, they may be misrepresenting our reality to fool you into believing you are a monkey on a spinning ball flying through space. The Earth is flat. Trust your senses, the Earth does not spin.
So, the compass only recognizes north. Any other direction is only based off the direction of north. North always points to the center, aka the North Pole. How could the compass point south if south is down? And many people believe if you travel in one direction, you'll come back on yourself. But that only happens with east and west. East and west are curved lines that constantly readjust to align with north. So when people say they've circled the whole world and ended up in the same place, they was only going east and west. But if you travel south, that's a whole different story. South is any direction leaving the center. So if you travel far enough, you will reach the ice wall. Unlike east and west, if you travel south, you will never come back on yourself.
In the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, they used to fake all space missions in Hollywood. Now it seems like they have moved to Silicon Valley, or might even be hiring people from India to fake it through software and imaging. Most likely Walt Disney Studios is also involved in the deception, since Walt Disney and Werner von Braun were on in it from the get-go.
And by no means at all am I going to push God onto you, but this is why they're hiding the shape of the earth. For that same reason. The deceiver wants to keep the deceived deceived. Because there wouldn't be no other option if we knew the truth. We would have to go serve the Lord. And yes, trust me, serving the Lord is a lot of work. A lot of blind faith work. But all worth it. I could tell you this. God is real. Seek Him with a sincere heart. You cannot fool the Creator, and He will reveal Himself to you. It's not the easiest path to take. It's going to get harder, but it's going to get a lot more worth it. Purpose is what drives God. He designed us for a specific purpose. People try to figure out their purpose by themselves and have no happiness because they sought their purpose and didn't seek the purpose that God created them to be. It is the reality that we live in. God bless.
Goes to inner space.
I'm standing on the International Space Station.
Water in space.
NASA says they cannot guarantee the helmet won't fill with water again.
And obviously, if you fill the helmet, you can't breathe.
Scary story. Glad he made out okay. That's a leak.
Oh, it's an explained leak.
A significant leak.
When I was commanding the International Space Station, we had a significant coolant leak.
I imagine there are no insignificant leaks in space.
These things do happen.
It's not, something we don't have plans for.
But
you're in space.
You're in space, which means it's much more difficult to fix.
So a lot of people are convinced that the government is going to fake an alien invasion. Check out this video and then I'll explain. So what's creepy is that there have been a number of UFO sightings lately. Here comes Project Bluebeam. Basically, an investigative journalist discovered that the government alongside NASA was going to use a bunch of tools and AI to fake an alien invasion. And like a second coming and like scare everyone, and then they're gonna swoop in, save the day, so everyone is like, oh my god, the government, we should totally trust them. They want to do this to form like one unity, like one government. They want absolute control of everyone.
So I just learned a buttload just by looking up the lyrics of Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. The Rothschilds own Hollywood. Cobain, can you hear the spheres ringing off station to station? And I'll get to that in a minute. Born and raised by those who praise control of population. The Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, and those way up there. Praise and support and push control of the population, i.e. Agenda 21, etc., i.e. etc. It's part of the plans, i.e. the... Let's continue. And Alderan's not far away, it's Californication. Check out my next picture. Alderan. Alderan, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is a fictional planet. Looks very much like Earth, does it not? Guess what? It's not far away. Area 51 is most likely where the moon landing was filmed. Lots of hangars that look like movie sets in Area 51, which is heavily guarded and secured. Lots of land that looks just like the moon with lots of craters. And strangely enough, lots of alien sightings or strange aircraft sightings, which back in the day when NASA was started, it was Project Paperclip, where they recruited 1,500 NASA war criminals that escaped the Nuremberg trials. These NASA war criminals were also NASA rocket scientists and assisted the U.S. in spacecraft, some of those being discs. So let's move on. I'm about to share with you some more information I noticed while researching very quickly the music of the spheres as referred to in Red Hot Chili Peppers' Dream of Californication song. So notice that I underlined the word concept because the beginnings and what we believe, what we were indoctrinated to believe since we were younger are all concepts. Notice I underlined initiation because Masons go through initiations to reach their next levels. So Galileo and Newton were also Masons. And And notice that all these things are concluded or concepts, and Galileo fiercely resisted a theory because it did not support whatever would explain a closed, curved object. Then it goes on to talk about how the stars emitted sound and how they used sound to describe how the stars would be shaped. Copernicus drastically reformed the previous model by displacing the Earth at its central place and replacing it with the sun. Now, Masons worship the sun. Masonry is basically a religion, a very secretive religion, and most of the astronauts and NASA scientists were high-level master 33rd degree Masons. Now, many people argue that the stars are not solid objects, that it's actually the telescopes that give them their form, and actually telescopes do give the planets their form. So I'm going to show you in the next slide a picture of what stars really look like, and it does look like they are reflecting water and like they are reflecting liquid. And it is biblical that that the firmament contains the water, and that there is water on the other side of the firmament. Thank you guys for watching. So I do want to apologize for a lot of the clips going pretty fast. I would encourage you to pause the clips, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a summary of what I figured out from the Red Hot Chili Peppers song last year. And that was this. This is what he's trying to say, and let me tell you why. The people that were born and raised by those who praise control of population, they can't just come right out and say these things. If you're still in Hollywood the way the Red Hot Chili Peppers are, you can't just come out and tell the truth about the flat earth. So it is encrypted in a song. So what Red Hot Chili Peppers is saying, I just totally forgot the lead singer's name, don't judge me. What he's saying is, Cobain, now that you're dead, do you see those fake planets up there that we created up here on Earth? Can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? What he's saying is, do you hear what the early scientists knew was just sound? Because the early consensus was that, and what they saw from observable science. See, the Christian scientists went by observable science, and they knew very well that the earth is flat the way the Bible describes it. We are in an enclosed system. I am blessed to have a spirit of discernment. God has blessed me with a spirit of discernment. So, can you hear the songs of the Spirit? Can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? Now that you're dead, can you see those planets up there? The actual fake planets that we actually created from NASA station to NASA station. There are NASA stations all over the US, and NASA means to deceive. Cobain, can you hear those fake planets that we actually created in the NASA stations? From station to station, obviously, because NASA to NASA, it's all NASA. It's all the liars of NASA. What we've been taught in school, that we're on a spinning globe and spinning so much while other things are spinning at the same time, and all the configurations of the planets and the sun, so complex that no human mind could completely grasp them. I never grasped it. But it's like, it's so complex, it's like, okay, man, that's so complex. It's like, well, it's got to be right? It's got to be correct, because it's like so complex, man, right? That's what it's saying. Special relations were believed to exist between particular celestial bodies. Okay, I said that already. Regarded as so complex that no human mind could completely grasp them. Thus, the astrologer might be readily excused for any errors. What a smart astrologer, man. That's so complex. It must be so smart. Can't be wrong. No, that's not wrong. Special relations was also assumed by those whose physics was more akin to that of the Greek philosopher Plato, another Mason. For the Platonic astrologers, aka for the Platonic divinators, occultists, the element of fire was believed to extend throughout the celestial spheres. It was believed to extend throughout the celestial spheres, and they were more likely than Aristotelians to believe in the possibility of divine intervention in the natural processes through celestial influences upon the earth, since they believed in the deity's creation of the celestial bodies themselves. And when they say deities, honey, they are not talking about the Alpha and Omega. So I just wanted to get into that because Freemasons run this world, okay? And there is power in secrecy. And the way the occultism works is that symbols and things that are hidden gain power. Oftentimes you will find the truth thrown in there because the enemy has such an ego and he likes to throw the truth in there and just kind of brag about it a little bit. It's like this movie I was watching today, really threw the truth in there. It's called Are You Here? It was Zach Galifianakis and Owen Wilson. And Zach is talking about the poison and how they're trying to make him not like everybody else through pharmaceutical drugs. It was truth. It was truth. Nostradamus, let me tell you something, Masons. You know, let me rewind. What happened with us was already planned. If you guys don't already know about Rockefeller and the lockstep documents, the lockstep, which is like a chapter in the what the World Economic Forum came out with, which was I think it was strategies for technological transformation. When you think about demons, okay, Copernicus, we get a Copernican system. He was influenced by the demon Thoth. Okay, demons live outside of time. Okay, demons are timeless, you guys. They don't like us. Okay, there's a kingdom of darkness, there's a kingdom of light. Anything from the kingdom of darkness is not your friend. They can pretend they're your friend. Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light, okay? But their plans for you are wicked. These have been in the plans. Masons are occultists. You cannot separate masonry from occultism. You cannot actually be a Christian and be a Mason, okay? How did Nostradamus know? Because he was involved in secrecy. He had communication with these spirits that had this in the plans for a long time.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer, Al-Biruni, who lived between 975 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Idialenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store today and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.